If you think Iran is nothing more than dusty deserts, scorching winds, and headlines on the news, then you haven't truly seen Iran yet. Because this country is actually a journey, a doorway to mysteries that slowly unfold. It's the kind of place where every turn changes the scenery, changes the atmosphere, even changes time itself. One moment you feel completely grounded in the modern world. Then suddenly, it feels like you've been transported into a story from 1,000 years ago. And that journey begins in a place where history isn't just written in books, it's carved into stone itself. This is Kandovan, a breathtaking village hidden among the mountains of northwestern Iran. Centuries ago, volcanic ash settled and hardened into stone. Then, over hundreds of years, wind and rain slowly carved these strange and beautiful shapes into existence. As you walk through the narrow paths of this village, it feels like stepping straight into a fairy tale. Tiny doorways, stone walls, and the warmth of life hidden inside them. The freezing winter cold can barely enter these homes, and even the intense summer heat struggles to get inside. It's as if nature and humanity have formed a perfect agreement here, and even today hundreds of families still live within these ancient stone homes. This journey will take you to a place that feels completely beyond Earth, as if you've stepped onto an unknown planet far from anything familiar. This place is called the Lut Desert. Stretching across southeastern Iran, this massive desert is not only enormous in size, but also one of the most extreme places on Earth. Ground temperatures here can sometimes rise above 70 degrees Celsius. The air feels dry, heavy, and almost impossible to breathe. And everywhere you look, there's nothing but endless sand and bizarre rock formations shaped by nature itself. Yet strangely enough, it's this brutal environment that has created such breathtaking beauty. At sunrise, the waves of sand begin to glow under golden light, and when evening falls, the entire landscape transforms into shades of red, orange, and deep shadows, as if nature paints a brand new masterpiece here every single day. Deep within this desert stand the massive Yardang formations, long carved walls of rock shaped entirely by the power of the wind. From a distance, they look like the ruins of a lost civilization. But the closer you get, the more they feel like something beyond human creation, a perfect architecture sculpted by time and nature itself. And now, you're standing in Persepolis, a name that once symbolized power, glory, and the pride of an empire. In 518 BC, Darius the Great built this magnificent city. Towering columns, massive palaces, and incredibly detailed carvings surround you, showing delegations from distant lands who once came here to honor the king. Even today, it almost feels as if the echoes of their footsteps still remain in the air. And now you slowly walk through the grand halls of the Apadana Palace. The cold touch of stone, the shadows of broken walls, and sunlight falling across ancient carvings. It feels as though this place is not completely silent, but still whispering slowly and deeply through the ruins of time. In the middle of the Persian Gulf lies Qeshm Island, a living geological museum where every rock and every formation tells its own story. Here you can step inside one of the world's longest salt caves, where the cool air, shimmering white walls, and strange echoes transport you into a world where time itself seems frozen. And then there's Stars Valley, a surreal landscape where the rocks are twisted and carved into shapes so strange, it feels as if something fell from the sky and transformed the land forever. Local legends say the valley was created by falling stars. Science says it's the result of centuries of wind and water erosion. But standing there, it's easy to understand why people chose to believe the stars instead. But when you stand there, surrounded by silence and those strange formations, it feels like this place holds a mystery far beyond explanation. And by the end of this long journey, you slowly begin to realize something. Iran cannot be understood through places alone. You understand it through its people, through its cities, through the depth of its culture and history. And nowhere is that feeling more alive than in its cities, where the past and the present blend together in perfect silence. Slowly, the city of Tehran begins to unfold before you, the beating heart of Iran. A city that is busy, alive, and never truly asleep. On one side, there are modern skyscrapers, crowded streets, and the fast rhythm of everyday life. And on the other, old bazaars, narrow alleyways, and hidden corners where the shadows of history still remain. As you walk through the city, you begin to understand that Tehran is not just a capital city, it's a pulse, a rhythm where every person carries a story of their own. Leaving behind the noise of the city, you arrive in Yazd, a place that feels untouched by time itself. Mud-colored homes, narrow alleyways, and towering wind catchers rising toward the sky. There's a certain slowness in the air here, a calmness that quietly forces you to pause. As you walk through the streets of Yazd, it feels as though time itself has begun to move a little slower. And then, the journey takes you to Isfahan, a city many call half the world. But the beauty here doesn't strike you all at once. It slowly settles into your heart, the enormous squares, the blue-tiled mosques, the delicate craftsmanship in every detail. And when you stand in Imam Square and look around, it feels like this place was not built simply to be seen, but to be deeply felt. Here, in the dance between light and shadow, in the precision of every pattern, and in the quiet movement of the people, there's a strange kind of beauty hidden beneath everything, a beauty that words can hardly explain. And by the end of this journey, you may find yourself standing in a place like this. A small waterfall, where the sound of water rushing down the mountains breaks the silence around you. Or perhaps an ancient hammam, where people once came not only to cleanse themselves, but to spend time together to talk and to share life. And after experiencing all of this, when you finally look back, you begin to realize that this journey was never only about the places you saw, it was a journey through emotion itself. This country teaches you that the most beautiful things are not always the easiest to see. Sometimes they hide within ancient ruins, sometimes in the silence of the desert, and sometimes in the smile of a stranger. And when all of these moments come together, a country no longer feels like just a place on a map. It becomes a story, an experience, a feeling that stays with you, even after the journey has ended.